On News Hour tonight, Senate demands answers from the NSA and security chiefs over alleged U.S. aid to Boko Haram funding. Kano residents groan as high cost of living persists despite falling food prices. Tragedy in Zamfara State. 2 more lives lost after gunpowder explosion. On the foreign scene, Sudan crisis deepens as the United Nations raises alarm over rising human rights abuses. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I'm Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. The Nigerian Senate has summoned National Security Advisor NSA Nuhu Ribadu and heads of all security agencies, including the NIA, DSS, and the DIA, to address allegations of U.S. aid sponsoring Boko Haram. The Chief of Defense Staff and the Chiefs of Army, Air Force, and Naval Staff have also been summoned. The summons follow allegations made by the United States Republican Congressman Scott Perry. The report.
Borno South Senator Ali Ndume, who raised a point of order during a Senate session on Wednesday, emphasized the importance of the matter and the urgent need for collaboration with security agencies to uncover the truth.
And observes that the monumental devastation caused by Boko Haram in this country should be a matter of concern, as it has dented the image of this country among the Community of Nations for allegations to begin to emerge at this point in time that some international organizations are behind this unwholesome act. There is the urgent need for steps to be taken by the federal government to unravel the mystery behind this whole episode.
Senator Abdul Ningi, a co-sponsor of the motion, voiced concerns regarding the potential misuse of foreign aid in conflict zones.
It is very, very serious, and it has gone viral globally, and therefore we need to do these things with some facts provided by these various security agencies at a closed-door session. Mr. President, with all due respect, this is my stand on this matter. It is almost impossible to do justice to this particular matter on a debate, in a plenary like this.
In his remarks, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, questioned the continued presence of the USAID in Nigeria if the organization is found to be complicit in terror financing.
It is true that USAID have been funding Boko Haram in Nigeria. We have no business allowing them to have offices in Nigeria. So before we can take decisive steps and also ask for recompense, automatically we must go deeper into the issue. So it's important that we get briefed by our intelligence community. The Senate should immediately invite the National Security Advisor, the Director General of the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, the Director General of the DSS, the Director General of the DIA, to brief the Senate in a closed session on the veracity or otherwise of these very serious allegations. Say aye, those against say they. The ayes have it.
The National Security Advisor, NSA, and heads of all security agencies are to brief the Senate over the alleged sponsorship of Boko Haram by USAID.
At least 2 persons have been reportedly dead, while no fewer than 10 others were reportedly kidnapped by bandits in Wushishi and Rafi local government areas of Niger State. A security operative who preferred anonymity said the 2 individuals killed are a vigilante and a firewood cutter, adding that among those abducted were also a vigilante. As of 5 p.m. this evening on Wednesday, locals reported that the bandits in large numbers were still in the Akari forest with dozens of cattle they had rustled from surrounding areas. The deceased firewood cutter was reportedly shot after being captured and forced to guide the bandits out of the area. The Niger State Commissioner for Homeland Security Brigadier General Bello Abdullahi Mohammed, retired, confirmed the attack, and he stated that security operatives had already been deployed to the area and are on the trail of the attackers. As Nigerians report falling prices of food items across major markets, especially in northern Nigeria, residents say they are yet to feel the impact as retailers continue to sell to end users at the regular exorbitant prices. This is the story of Kano residents who told Trust TV that the cost of living has not reduced despite noticeable fall in the prices of wholesale foods in various markets. Abdulaziz Ibrahim has this report.
The situation is perplexing for many residents who had hoped for an improvement in the cost of living as promised by the federal government. At the single commodity market in Kano, flour, which sold for over 80,000 naira towards the end of last year, is now priced at less than 60,000 naira. Pasta like spaghetti and macaroni, previously sold for 20,000 naira per carton, has dropped to about 15,000 naira.
We have experienced the decrease of the prices of food items in the market, more particularly flour, pasta, oil, vegetable oil, rice, and so on, due to the measures taken by the federal government to issue waiver on some food.
Despite these reductions by major dealers, prices at most neighborhood shops and other retail outlets remain unchanged.
There is no change, because I heard the price have dropped in the market, flour and some other things. Still today, the common man cannot buy bread. Bread is very costly. And they are using flour, they are using sugar, and all those things drop in the market. So at times we begin to complain of government. Is federal government selling the food in the market?
As the dealer go reduce the money, the waiting I want talk to all this shop where they buy keep for shop, make them reduce the money too, so that may the team balance.
Yes, the prices of many foods have started coming down, but we pray that very soon everything should be okay and the cost of living should be reduced for us.
With the Ramadan fast approaching, government agencies noting the price reduction at larger markets are urging residents and retailers to adjust their prices accordingly.
We call them to fear God. As the foodstuff drop down, they're supposed to less the price of the foodstuff. Even if you see like this time is Ramadan, we are approaching month of Ramadan. That is the month of Rahama, the month of anything you do good, Almighty Allah can add more thing to you. So we call them to less the price.
While commending the federal government's efforts, there is hope that further measures will be implemented to further reduce food prices.
Beans, we used to buy beans 4,000, 5,000. Now beans is 3,000, 3,200. Rice 4,000, 5,000. Now it's 4,000. You can buy rice and other things, but something like onions is still very high. The price is still high. Onions, tomatoes, pepper, all those ones is very high.
We urge to the federal government to look into the how to intervene to increase the food production company in the country, because the one we have, if you look at the whole country with the population of almost 230 million people, we have only 3 or 4 pasta company, and we have also having short of flour company also. So we need the federal government to intervene in increasing the food production company in the country.
Residents continue to hope that prices will further adjust in order to make life more affordable. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Back to our top story on the Nigerian Senate that has reportedly summoned the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and heads of all security agencies, including the NIA, DSS, and DIA, to address allegations of the United States aid sponsoring Boko Haram. We now have a security expert, Temitope Olodo, online to tell us his thoughts on this development. Temitope Olodo, welcome to Trust TV News.
Thank you very much for having me.
As a security expert, what are your thoughts on this developing story?
I think it's a welcome idea. I think it's a welcome development. It is important, of course, to highlight that the controversy surrounding the activities of U.S. aid, in Nigeria needs to be investigated by the Nigerian government, because if we don't do that, it clearly indicates that we don't take serious the life of Nigerians that were lost, to this diabolical activity. So I welcome it. Of course, we know it's not going to be an open session. So those conversations will be between our representative, in the Holo Chamber and, the security chiefs that we have entrusted with protecting our life and property in line with the Nigerian Constitution. So I welcome the move. I'm hoping that it will help us to be able to really understand some of the allegations and narrative out there in the public space about some of the activities of international NGOs. And this might also help the legislators to be able to shape some of our legislative activities or their legislative activities to ensure that international organizations are monitored properly, and that the priority is for the protection of life and property of Nigerians, as it should be.
Well, when you say it will shape the narratives that have been there, but there has been conspiracy theories way back from 2008, 2009, 2010, and some of you security experts had pointed to those conspiracy theories. Do you think what Scott Perry now divulged publicly as a Republican senator is something that has gone with those conspiracy theories that some of you had already known all this while?
There's no doubt that the statement made by the U.S. representative has more or less poured fuel into the fire and confirmed some of the conversations that we've had. There is no doubt in my mind when we heard that even some bandits had weapons that were able to shoot down the presidential jet of the president, you could remember. There's no doubt in our mind when we were told that one of the convoy of the president at that point was attacked. Up to now, we don't know what happened to that investigation. So there is some narrative out there that need to be investigated, and we really need to know what the security agents know about some of the allegations that have been made. And of course, that will help to shape the way in which we deal with issues of foreign investment or foreign funds coming from NGOs into Nigeria. And we all know that there's a lot of things out there, but we need to prove them. And some of us have inclinations using information that are available to us in the public domain. We have been able to confirm that some activities are happening in Nigeria that should not be happening in a sovereign state. But it is my hope that this, meeting with the security chiefs will help shed light and help us to have a better Nigeria and a peaceful Nigeria.
As a security expert, what do you make of the reported statement from the U.S. Embassy mission here in Nigeria, saying that Scott Perry's divulge or disclosures will be investigated by the United States government? Because if they say it will be investigated, are they denying the facts that Scott Perry laid before the United States Senate?
There's no doubt in my mind that there will be a review of what he has said. He's joined things together. And of course, there are some of the things that he has said that I don't actually believe. Of course, we all know that CIA and some of those security agencies use, backdoor processes, to fund activities to destabilize governments and institutions. There's no doubt there is history to back that up. Whether they will do it in Nigeria is another question. We've had people say things like they thought it was the French that were behind some of the activities. We don't know. We know that there are some Nigerians that might be even in the pay pocket of CIA and some of these foreign agents. We need to know what is the truth. And if they say they want to investigate, we welcome that. But it's not just for them to investigate alone. I think that the Nigerian Senate and even the foreign embassy, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, should be inviting the American ambassador to the ministry to answer for some of the things that have been said. That is our right to know that as Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians have lost their brothers, their sisters. A lot of things have happened in the north that should not be happening, which is a basket of our food production. So definitely it is something that we need to look into. And if we could only get rid of these terrorist activities that have been going on for over 10 years, you could just imagine the prosperity of Nigeria and how people will be able to have food on their table and to be able to sleep with their two eyes closed. That is what we want, and every part of Nigeria deserve that that peaceful situation.
Well, thank you so much, Temitope Olodo. But before I leave you to go, with security experts like you who are private, are you ready on a collective, and you particularly ready to also go to the Senate and tell them what you know?
Oh, definitely. What I would have expected, of course, is that the Senate will organize this kind of meeting and allow it to be done using technology as it exists right now, to ask some of us to be witness experts to talk about some of the things that we know. Even here in the United Kingdom, where I reside, everything doesn't need to be physical. They could use technology to invite some of us who have been talking about this. I was one of the few people that said that there will be terrorism in Nigeria and people will blow themselves up. And when I said that 10 years ago, people said that I was talking rubbish. I also said that it's going to take up to 20 years for terrorism to be eradicated from Nigeria. And people said I don't know what I was talking about. I was talking from a place of authority, as being the only Nigeria and the first Nigeria to work in the Office for Security and Counter-Terrorism in the UK, the only one. So I talk from an area of expertise, but I'm not the only one. Nigeria is blessed with thousands of people like myself scattered around the world that could actually add value to the conversation about eradicating terrorism in Nigeria. And I think the Nigerian Senate and the other legislative arm should take advantage of technology to invite some of us to come and be expert witness to talk about some of this issue and bring our evidence to the front for them to be able to use to have an informed decision.
Temitope Olodo, a security expert based at the United Kingdom, thank you so much for your thoughts. And we are happy that you are ready to also come forward and tell the Senate what you know.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a lovely evening.
Moving on, 2 victims of the Talata Mafaras market gunpowder explosion have reportedly died. One victim, identified as Muhammad Lawal Matuzgi, died on arrival at the Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital in Sokoto, while the second victim, Sani Adamu, also died early hours of Wednesday at the hospital. The other victims, who sustained severe injuries, are currently receiving medical attention at the Usman Danfodio University Hospital. In the meantime, the police and the Zamfara state government have not yet made an official statement, despite efforts to get them to confirm the incident and its causes. Justice Ian Eko of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has rejected the request of the embattled National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, to stop the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from effecting his removal as Secretary of the PDP. Justice Eko ordered Anyanwu to put INEC and other defendants in his new suit on notice to appear in court to enable him to hear their sides. Anyang had approached the Federal High Court with an ex parte application, praying the judge to restrain INEC or any of its agents from receiving or effecting any correspondences and written submissions that emanated or may emanate from the PDP except those signed by him. In the application argued by his counsel, Anyang also asked Justice Eko to restrain Omar Damagum from forwarding any correspondence, documents, or written submissions to INEC unless they were signed by him, Anyang. In a brief ruling, Justice Eko held that after reviewing Anyang's averments in support of his suit, he was convinced that a case of urgency was established. The judge, however, said that he would not grant the request of the plaintiff through an ex parte application and would prefer to hear from the defendants before issuing any order. The crisis rocking the Benue State House of Assembly over the removal of the Chief Judge, Justice Maurice Akpambase, escalated on Wednesday as the House suspended 13 lawmakers for opposing the majority decision. Shortly after 23 out of the 31 members voted to remove Akpambase, the 13 dissenting lawmakers held a press conference in Makudi condemning the process and alleging a breach of due process. In response, the Speaker, Hyacinth Andoanan Dajo, on Wednesday announced a 3-month suspension of the lawmakers, accusing them of engaging in dishonorable actions capable of causing acrimony in the House of Assembly. The suspended members were also directed to refund funds previously allocated for an upcoming foreign trip, which they will no longer undertake. The House of Assembly particularly condemned the actions of Douglas Akia of Makudi South and 12 others, some of whom, despite initially voting for Akpambase's removal, allegedly later denied supporting the motion. The House of Representatives has established an ad hoc committee to investigate the recent unrest in Osun State. Lawmakers urged the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the Department of State Security Services, and other security heads to swiftly restore peace and order in Osun State. The report.
On Monday, February 17, 2025, 6 individuals were confirmed dead amid clashes between supporters of SAC local government chairman and members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The unrest was triggered by a Court of Appeal ruling which reinstated All Progressives Congress APC elected local government chairmen and councillors, leading to violent confrontations in areas such as Osogbo, Borikpe, Irewole, and Olaoluwa local government areas. Following the unrest, a motion of urgent public importance was moved by Representative Bamidele Salam, who expressed concern that the situation could escalate without immediate intervention.
Concerned that the preventable violence which happened in Osun State has led to the death of 6 persons, while scores of others have suffered severe injuries and presently receiving treatment in various hospitals. Further worried that if prompt action is not taken against this lawlessness and arbitrariness, it may escalate into a more serious security challenge in Osun State.
In a separate development, the House resolved to investigate the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, over concerns about its operations in drug markets. Following a motion by Representative Afam Victor Gene, the House directed its committee on NAFDAC to ensure that legitimate businesses and livelihoods of innocent traders are not unfairly affected during regulatory activities.
Worried by the reports that NAFDAC sealed the affected markets and denied the traders and its leadership entry, while its officials proceeded to break into shops, cutting away pharmaceuticals, without owners of such shops being allowed to witness the operation and take inventory.
Also, the House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Works, the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC), and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to engage and sensitize petroleum transport unions on safety compliance. This followed a motion by Representative Saidu Abdullahi, who expressed concern that unregulated tanker parking disrupts economic activities and threatens public order. They also called for strict enforcement of regulations, particularly against indiscriminate parking of tankers along major roads in Bida.
Concerned that the slow pace of the construction of the Bida-Suleja Road, in spite of an alternative funding source through the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme, has contributed hugely to the indiscriminate parking of tankers along major roads on the route, thereby worsening traffic congestion and increasing the risk of accidents.
In a related development, the House has resolved to restrict the movement of trailers and trucks within Lokoja to nighttime operations from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. to improve road safety and traffic management. The decision followed a motion by Representative Danladi Suleiman Aguye, highlighting frequent fatal accidents on the Lokoja-Felele-Benin-Lagos Expressway, which have claimed many lives. To address these concerns, the House urged the federal government through the Ministry of Works and FERMA to expedite road expansion and construct a flyover with pedestrian bridges to enhance safety for students and other road users.
That the speedy construction of the bypass flyover bridge and expansion of the road is part of measure to curtail further loss of innocent and productive lives on the 2-kilometer stretch on the highway and mitigations against future occurrence.
The Green Chamber has also urged the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management to provide relief materials to the displaced persons in the affected areas in Bukium local government area of Zamfara State.
A group of Christian clergies under the umbrella of the City of the Lord Evangelical Ministry and the Priesthood and Eldership Ministry Africa, in alliance with the Kingdom Come Prayer Network United Kingdom, had advocated for a 6-region government in Nigeria. They made this known at the opening of a 2-day prayer conference dedicated to address the many challenges bedeviling Nigeria. Trust TV's Neil Sampson was at the prayer conference and brings us these details.
The prayer conference started with a praise and worship section from attendees who thanked God for bringing the country thus far. Organizers told Trust TV the idea behind the conference and proposed a system of government that the nation should adopt to better the country.
It's a return Nigeria to 6 regions to create peace and enabling resource management in the nation, and then turn the states to independent state, making Nigeria a united state of Nigeria. The resources of the nation will be managed between the state and the region, while royalties will be paid for the federal government. The federal government will only manage external and internal affairs and welfare of the nation, as it is done in the US and other countries.
If we return the nation back to the 6 regions and the resources of the nations that are buried within the regional government, but based on the fact that the regions are having some dynamics that are not common within the federation. Each region has its own dynamics.
There was a discussion in the National Assembly of moving to start working on the 6 regional as it has been before. So I can see that God is already ahead of us, is going ahead. So I advise that the government of the day will move ahead and go to carry out what God is already saying, that they have key into it in one way or the other.
In the realm of the spirit, for the country to move forward and do better, we are advising the nation to go back to the 6th region. This will help the resources of the nation to spread around.
Man can propose, but it's God that gives the answer. So we all pray and look up to God for a favorable answer to us. He knows, He created us, He formed us, He gives us all the languages and all the regions. So He knows better than we do. All we do, we look up to Him concerning the way forward concerning the nation. We are praying that God will direct us to a path that every region will rejoice and will progress and will succeed.
The high point of the conference was the prayer section, where all clergy present at the conference offered prayers for the country. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, Choked by dust, FCT suburb residents beg for urgent road repairs. We have more news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Senate demands answers from the National Security Advisor, security chiefs over alleged U.S. aid Boko Haram funding. And Kano residents groan as high cost of living persists despite falling food prices. Moving on to more stories, residents of Karu site in the nation's capital have appealed to the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, to urgently order the contractor handling road projects in the area to effect the construction of the scrapped surfaces there. They made the appeal following what they termed a continuous battle with dust and its attendant health challenges. Trust TV's Noel Sampson has more.
Presently in the FCT, roads are being rehabilitated, with others being reconstructed. However, the pace of construction differs from site to site, with construction at the city center seemingly going at a steady pace. On the other hand, construction at suburbs seems to be crawling as some routes have been scraped off in anticipation of reconstruction but have been subsequently been abandoned. A visit to Karo site reveals that behind Karo Park, the road surface has been scraped for reconstruction and has been like that for a while. This has worsened the plight of the residents around the location as dust has polluted the air. Residents there lamented that this is affecting their health and also constitutes a challenge during the rainy season.
It affects us a lot because the dust from the ground is affecting us. It covered our items, and also the rain during the rainy season. The place gets soaked. So when you are coming, there is a red sand on the ground. So when the water is too much, it sinks down. So we suffer a lot during rainy season and also the dry season.
Dust, they disturb me well because before they used to pour water when they were working on it. Now they have abandoned it. They don't do anything. So this dry season now, if all those tornado come, like everybody they run for here because if they bring dust, and you know say dust, you know good for chest. Apart from that, if rain they fall like this, see where Okada, even police say they get access to their workplace. You know they easy like that. Get time when we say this park will not feel use them because that time water full this road. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why the thing takes so long because I think it don't pass 1 year now. Maybe they help us clear this road again.
Rainy season, what now you will see for here, and so you will pour those, even if you work yourself. So that I know season, that's how we follow going. Everywhere don't do those. If you reach inside house now, you know if you keep television with all car on it. Everywhere does, they everywhere. Inside house, the dust they fly, they enter everywhere.
Some of this road, they're supposed to not fix and since. If like say they forget us, the dust too much. If you go inside our house now, we go to clean our television every day, our sound sets every day, our chairs every day because of dust. So now how they suffer them? We don't even walk out for the road freely again, safe like before. Like say they forget us.
They appealed to the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, to order the reconstruction of the road to free them from the challenges resulting on the scraped surface. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Still on roads construction, residents of the Onibeju Street in Oniwaya area of Agege local government in Lagos State are appealing to authorities of the council to quickly fix the road as the dust generated by construction work is negatively affecting their health and businesses. They made the appeal when Trust TV visited the area to ascertain the extent of work in the hitherto abandoned road project.
Onibeju Street, Oniwaya in Agege, Lagos State, has suffered years of neglect, serving as an alternative route for motorists during expressway traffic congestion. The street's condition has long been a concern. This road project aims to revitalize the area's infrastructure, improving residents' living conditions and enhancing the community's overall appearance. The project includes the reconstruction of a modern drainage system. While residents have welcomed the commencement of the road construction with joy and appreciation, they are urging the council to accelerate the work as pervasive dust is severely affecting their health and businesses. With the approach of Ramadan, the Muslim holy month of fasting. Residents also expressed concern the dust disrupting their frequent visit to the mosque for prayers.
Let me say I grew up on this street, and here is my shop here. But one thing I just want to know is that from this street links to so many areas. I can say this street is a major road, because oftentimes when there are traffic, buses, motor drivers, they pass by this road often whenever there is traffic. So this road has been our major road, and this road leads to national. You can link from here to Ikeja, going to Ikeja. From this outskirts, you can lead to Pen Cinema. You can lead to Dokpemu. From this road, you can lead to Dokpemu. You can lead from here to Mongoro.
This is our road that abandoned many years ago, but we are very happy as our government surprised us about this road. And we thank them very well. But the dust and because of our trading or because of our children, because of us, this is our road. They should help us do it fast.
The road was bad before, and during this process, it is okay in some aspects. It's just the dust and the dust. Yes, that's the only thing we have issue with right now. So we just want the government to please fasten the project because of the dust, so it won't affect us. Because we have asthma patients in this house, especially like me. I'm an asthma patient.
This road will be try for us because this road is not on map, but as you do it like this, we like and like that. May you just remember and do it fast and do this road for us because say because of dust. May you just remember as then do other waiting that they call this side itself. Then do a larger shafau every day tight. So may you do and fast for us because fasting is already enter.
Upon completion, the Onibeju Street Road project promises improved traffic flow, reduced congestion, and enhanced property values for residents.
Residents of Obololi community in southern Ijo local government area of Bayelsa State are pleading for assistance following a devastating oil spill that has destroyed their livelihoods. Their primary sources of drinking water, fishing, and farming have been polluted by the spill, which occurred in the early hours of Monday morning. The community is therefore calling on the government, Shell, the facility's owner, and other relevant authorities to intervene urgently. TOS TV's Friday Ebimoboy Peter has details.
Shows the origin of the oil spill bubbling up from the riverbed. Despite the known health risks, some residents are seen bathing in the polluted water, having no other option. Residents lamented their suffering since the Monday morning incident and also reported health issues from inhaling the crude oil fumes daily.
No way to drink water. Now, if they part themselves, the breathe way they breathe self, they affect us. No way to drink water, we dey hungry. Fish chef not there. All our fish don't die finish. Since morning I dey boost, I won't drink water now, no way to drink.
On the day from this oil come out, we cannot bath. Even the newborn baby cannot bath. They cannot see water drink. They are saying that fish is flowing, is dying for the river. So me too, I carry canoe, run, come to the river, pick some, go. No way to cook, I cook. The ones where I pick, I go cook. No way to shop. All the fish them na oil, so no way to shop. I throw away all.
Look at the water, the whole water is polluted. There is no way to even breathe. Even as I am trying to drink water, no way. Even the odor I'm perceiving, I don't know what else to say. Government, please come to our...
The Obololi Community Development Chairman, Good News Okoye, emphasized the negative impact of the spill, noting a daily increase of sicknesses among the children.
Through this water, we can use it for our daily human daily activities in terms of fishing activities and the cooking, bathing, everything. It is only this source that we can survive. And through this means that we can even transport ourselves down to Gebri and come back successfully. But since as this thing has been occurred, all those transportation, everything has been stopped. I had the report that 2 boys were being affected as they go into the water, since already the thing has spread to the community. So they drank the water and they have been affected. So
the technical assistant to the state government, Maurice Alagwa, called on the federal government and Shell to immediately clean up Obololi community and provide fair compensation to the people for the damage to their river.
I'm calling on the Shell Petroleum Development Company and the federal government, co-partners in the petroleum industry, to ensure that these sites, this Obololi, be properly cleaned up, remediated, and compensation paid. They've not carried out JIV, but then this has occurred at the middle of the river. Unless proven otherwise, I think this is an equipment failure incident.
Dead fishes were observed in the river, while samples of the crude oil were collected. From Obololi community, Friday Ibumobowe Peter, reporting for Trust TV News.
Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has restated his administration's dedication to making the state Nigeria's leading wheat producer. Speaking at the 2025 Wheat Greenfield Day in Debi, Ringim local government area of the state, the governor highlighted the state's significant progress in wheat cultivation and outlined ambitious plans for agricultural transformation of Jigawa State. The report.
The event, organized in collaboration with the Flour Milling Association of Nigeria, brought together farmers, policymakers, and agricultural experts to assess progress and strategize for increased wheat production. Governor Namadi emphasized Jigawa's vital role in supporting the federal government's goal of achieving wheat self-sufficiency by 2030. He said Jigawa has expanded its cultivated wheat land from 55,000 hectares in the 2023-2024 season to 80,000 hectares in 2024-2025, with plans to reach 500,000 hectares. The governor also announced the launch of the Jigawa Farm Mechanization Company, which will introduce 300 tractors, 60 combined harvesters, and other modern farming equipment supported by trained technicians. He reassured farmers of continued support through improved seed varieties, irrigation infrastructure, and subsidized inputs. FMAN's collaboration in cultivating 10,000 hectares was also praised, reinforcing Jigawa's commitment to public-private partnerships.
Jigawa has emerged as a leading producer of wheat in Nigeria. From the cultivation of 55,000 hectares in 2023-2024 provinces to an impressive 80,000 hectares in the 2024-2025, our growth is undeniable. This remarkable achievement underscores our commitment to agricultural development and our belief in the promise of this sector to achieve food security, transform our economy, and significantly promote inclusive economic growth, for which our teeming farmers will be major beneficiaries. We are delighted that Jigawa State is contributing between 10 to 15% of the national wheat demand, saving Nigeria over 90 billion naira in foreign exchange.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, who was present at the event, lauded Jigawa's leadership in wheat production, describing the state as a model for agricultural development.
Agriculture is the cornerstone of Jigawa State's economy, contributing over 60% of state's gross domestic product and employing more than 90% of its population. Jigawa is renowned for its food crop production, livestock farming, and cash crop exports, notably sesame and hibiscus flower, which has positioned the state as one of the leading producers of sesame and the largest producer of hibiscus in Nigeria. We are, of course, proud to be associated with the tremendous successes the state of Jigawa has recorded under the leadership of His Excellency, the Governor of Jigawa State.
Governor Namadi's renewed commitment signals a transformative phase in Nigeria's agricultural sector, positioning Jigawa as a key driver of wheat self-sufficiency and economic growth.
From Jigawa to Adamawa State, where Governor Ahmadu Finturi has formally crowned Dr. Ali Dambaram as the Pital Madagali, marking the 6th coronation in the state's ongoing initiative to reinforce the traditional institutions. During the coronation ceremony held in Gulak, the ancestral headquarters of Madagali local government area, Governor Finturi underscored the significance of establishing emirates and chiefdoms as a means to promote unity, restore dignity, and enhance governance at the community level. TOS TV's Gibson Swadiagu has the report.
The significant event was attended by dignitaries, royal leaders, government officials, and residents of Madagali, who gathered to commemorate the historic occasion. The community was devastated by the activities of Boko Haram insurgency, resulting in the displacement of families and the disruption of daily life. For the coronation, a new phase has begun in Madagali local government, largely populated by Margi-speaking ethnic nationalities. Governor Ahmadu Finturi assured attendees that the newly established Madagali chiefdom is a permanent institution, asserting that traditional organizations should embody the history, culture, and aspiration of the people. He urged the community to support their new ruler, pledging that the government will assist in fostering peace, development, and economic prosperity.
The Tel Madagali stool is not just a title, it is a sacred responsibility, a bridge between our past and our future, and a symbol of our identity as a people. I call on all sons and daughters of Madagali, both at home and in diaspora, to rally behind the Tel, support him, work with him, and uphold the values of unity, peace, and progress. A community can only flourish when its people stand together, speak with one voice.
In his acceptance speech, the Til Madagali, Dr. Ali Ambaram, acknowledged that genuine leadership is characterized by selfless service and pledged his commitment to serving the community. Til Madagali, who was born on April 25, 1959, is a former Chief Medical Director of the Federal Medical Center, Yola.
It is with profound honor and deep admiration that I seek the indulgence of His Excellency Governor Ahmadu Umaru Finturi to bestow upon him the noble titles of Salkatala, Sheshilga of Madagali Chiefdom, meaning the fearless, radiant star that illuminates our path and strengthens our own legacy.
There were goodwill messages from former governors, traditional rulers, and well-wishers. The oath of office and allegiance was administered to Til Madagali, His Royal Majesty Ali Dambaram, by the Chief Judge of Adamawa State, Justice Afsat Abdurrahman. The current Sukur UNESCO World Heritage, which was known for pottery, ironsmithing, garment production, and artisanal craft, is a Madagali local government area of Adamawa State. Gibson Soadugu, Trust TV News, Yola.
Time now to join Chiamaka Nwafo for the stock market update.
Good evening. This is Stock Market News Update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Let's look at the happenings on the floor of the stock exchange today, the 19th day of February 2025. And as you know, the all-share index closed at 108,609.51 basis points, up by 0.87%. It had been on the downward trend from Monday and Tuesday, but today on Wednesday, it picked up. The market cap closed at 67.7 trillion naira, and about 343.7 million volume of shares traded in 12,970 deals valued at 8.6 billion naira. Let's go to our green table and see who our gainers are. Our top three gainers today are BUA Foods, closing the day at 410 naira 50 kobo, having a plus 9.91 share price appreciation. RT Briscoe in second place, closing the day at 2.63 kobo at plus 6.91 share price appreciation, and Eterna at 42.50 kobo at plus 6.25% share price appreciation. What's happening? Who are losers today? UPL lost at losing about 9.80% of its share price, closing the day at 4.60 kobo. International Engines closed at 2.21 kobo. That's about 9.8% loss of its share price. And Union Deacon lost 6.65 kobo, closing the day, losing about 9.52% of its share price. Who are movers, who are shakers on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange? Access Holdings continues to have the largest volume of shares. Continuing actually from Tuesday, today, Wednesday, they still have the largest volume of shares at 65.1 million shares. Fidelity Bank at 50.7 million shares, and Zenith Bank in third place at 22.1 million shares. Now let's go to the African stock and global markets. And that's it for Africa stock market, global market, and the exchange price. That's the much we have for you on Stock Market Update tonight. I am Chamaka Mwafo.
On the foreign scene, a report on the conflict in the Sudan issued by the UN Human Rights Office says the continued and deliberate attacks on civilians and civilian objects, as well as summary executions, sexual violence, and other violations and abuses underscore the utter failure by both parties to respect the rules and principles of international humanitarian and human rights law. In a recorded statement, the spokesperson for the UN Human Rights Office, Tamim Al-Katan, said the entrenched impunity is fueling gross human rights violations and abuses in Sudan, as fighting spreads to more parts of the country and involves additional armed actors. The report issued by the UN Human Rights Office documents attacks on densely populated areas as well as IDP camps, health facilities, markets, and schools. The spokesperson also noted that there is also a need for further investigation to establish whether other serious international crimes, including atrocity, have been committed. He called for urgent steps to be taken by the parties to put an end to the violence and hold those responsible to account and provide redress for survivors. Let's now go to Sports Update with Adeni Adesheki.
The 2025 edition of Yeson Wiki FCT School Sports Final Fiesta has taken center stage in Abuja as schools are competing hard to maintain top sport in the finals. Despite some being eliminated, some reach for greater heights. The Rector Department of School Sport in the FCT, Hashimu Adamu, has expressed gratitude to all zonal coordinators of Yeson Wiki Renew Hope Sport Fiesta for their enormous support during the zonal preliminaries. The multi-sports festival at the 8 centers across the FCT in 3 categories: primary, primary, junior secondary, and senior secondary resume after a break on 18 February. Hashimo explained further that 2025 FC Finals will hold in two centers in Western and the Eastern Conferences. The Western Conference at GSS Gwagwalada holds schools from Abaji, Kwale, Gwagwalada, and Tungamaje, while the Eastern Conference at GSS Gariki Area 10 holds schools from Kuje, Tuduwada, and Gariki, Duse, Kubwa, and Karu zones. In the senior boys football, GSS Mabushi qualified, beating GSS Kubwa 1-0 thanks to Mustafa Yakubu's strike in the second half as GDSS Karu joined them following a 6-5 penalty win over GSS Kuje. In the senior girls football, Fosla Academy and ADSS Maitama punched their tickets to represent Eastern Conference. Fosla Academy Karishi scored 2 goals to dump GSS Karu, while ADSS Maitama mauled GSS Kubwa 5-0 to progress. Badminton senior boys, Saeed Abdullahi of GSS Kubwa, Phase 3, defeated Samuel Andrew of Astu School, Kuje 2-0 to reach final, while Ahmed Suleiman of ADSS Asokoro lost 0-2 to Abdullah Hamid Haruna of ADSS Maitama with GSS Kubwa Phase 3 and ADSS Maitama in the final. Handball, junior boys handball team of GSS Karishi will represent the Western Conference in the final playoffs, while LEA Pana is the sole representative of the Eastern Conference in the primary school handball event. In volleyball, for junior boys, GSS Karu defeated ABJSS 2 Asokoro 2-0 to qualify alongside GSS Karu, who edged ABJSS Asokoro 2-0. In senior girls volleyball, ADSS Maitama beat GDSS Karu 2-0, 25-12, 25-13, while GDSS Karu dumped GSS Kubwa Phase 3 2-0, 25-7, 25-7. Qualified athletes from the 8 zones will resume camp on 23rd February 2025 at the Department of School Sport Office in Utako. Track and field event will commence on 24th February till 27th, ahead of the grand finale at Package A of the MQ Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Aji Shafe.
Sports News concludes this Wednesday's edition of News Hour on Trust TV. Don't forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. Thank you for watching. I'm Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. Good night.